Okay, here we go. In less than the time it takes me to explain this to you, I will have already created 72 ad creatives from this one project. And it has all the CTAs, all the hooks, all the stories all lined up. I've already edited everything, and it has all the B-roll that I want, all of the sound effects, and just everything that I need reordered in the different orders that I need. And look how quickly this thing is already going. It's insane. Is it recording the screen too? Because that takes extra resources. Yeah. So in the time that it takes me, well, in less than the time it takes me to explain it to you, it's already going to spit out 72 ad creatives. Now, in the words of great Russell Brunson, which I don't think are his exact words, he who has the most creative wins. So he had a friend who was doing exactly the same kind of business as him, but he was making more money. What was the difference? He was making 5 times more creative. Now, if you want to play with the big guys, you have to have more hooks than everybody else, more stories, more CTAs, so that you can test all the different variations of your ads that you possibly can. And how much does that cost? It usually, typically, if I was to do all of this manually, I could do probably about 20 split tests in a day. If I had all the different sections already sectioned out, then I had to just reorder them and do all the naming and make sure it's all accurate. And then do 9x16, do 16x9, do square. You've spent a lot of money, right? And even if you're paying somebody who's cheap, who's like 250 bucks a day, 250 bucks for 20 ads, and that's so add that up. I have done this before for a client, and I've done 500 ads from one single delivery. So that was one shoot day, and I made 500 ads from 4 different creative concepts. And just this one, it's just 72, but in the time, less than the time it takes you to go get a coffee, these things are going to be done. Now I can get up, I can walk away, I can do whatever I want, I can ponder my life. I can go drink a smoothie. I could probably make the smoothie and drink the smoothie and come back, and this stuff will be done. So who needs this? People who do courses, people who do book launches like Russell Brunson, people who do webinar funnels, that kind of thing. I had a friend who worked for Tony Robbins. Well, not directly, but his agency worked for Tony Robbins for an event launch. And in the time, it took such a long time for them to get all the creative and get everything correct. One of the main issues that I have as an editor is when there's feedback, having to go back into the 50 different versions of something. Like, you don't want to do too much because then you just won't have enough time to do it, right? This has totally removed that barrier, because now all I have to do is go into one of these compound clips and I can make that change instantly, and I don't have to worry about it. And then I just select all of them again and I export all of them, and then it's done. So this used to take me like a day and a half, I swear, to do like 45 different split tests. So I'm doing different lengths with different CTAs, different hooks, different stories. And it was such a pain in the butt, because the problem was that I would make all sorts of errors because I'm human. I'd make all sorts of mistakes, and then I'd have to go watch everything to make sure that the mistakes were fixed. And then if there was a mistake, it would take me a long time to go iterate and go back through every single one of these ads and make all the changes myself. And then naming things was just a pain in the butt. This automatically names it based on the file, and based on the name of the file, the size, and hook, story, CTA, and it does the size twice, just so that you know, you definitely know. And then it tells you how long this ad is. And look, we're already done. How long was that? That was less than 4 minutes, 72 ads. So imagine having this kind of power. It's kind of like crack cocaine. Once you're in, you're never going to stop. Once you get your first hit of this stuff, man, it's insane. So I never do this manually ever anymore. I just do it all with Split Test O Matic by Grab Your Assets. Unfortunately, right now, there's not a client-facing tool for it, and you do have to work with my agency if you want something like this, because nobody else can really do this. Nobody else is out there doing this kind of stuff. And so if you're the kind of business that needs this kind of split testing ability, you need to be able to create as many hooks as you want, stories, CTAs, because that's one thing that holds people back, is they would like to probably do a whole lot more split tests, make 10 different hooks, 5 different stories, and 3 different CTAs. And you just have to be realistic, right? You have to say, well, we don't have enough bandwidth. We don't have enough time to do that. And we also can't pay the money to make that many split tests. We would like to. And then you test them all. I can hand a business 500 of them. And if they want to use 12 to start, they can pick their 12 favorites. In doing this, that same client that I made 500 for was able to quickly find the ad that gets them conversions for $4 or less a pop. So if that's interesting to you, and this is some kind of, if this is the kind of thing that you want this voodoo magic, then go ahead and reach out to me, Adam at grabyourassets.com, or go to my website and you can find my contact information there. Thank you so much.